more minutes to go. In 2 minutes, we will start with the first fight. Women under 48 kilograms.
Gerekli yarışmamızın başlanmasına Cemil 2 dakika bakalım.
Dear spectators, on behalf of the International Judo Federation of Azerbaijan, and from all our sponsors, welcome to the final walk of Baku World Judo Championships 2018, Azerbaijan.
Well, a very big welcome to this 2018 Baku World Judo Championships. The capital city of Azerbaijan hosts this World Judo Tournament where the top judoka in the world battle it out for world supremacy. Now on this first day of competition we have the lightest men's and ladies categories, with Japan looking to get off to a strong start in their strongest categories. And we're looking forward to some amazing judo over the next 8 days. Joining me in the commentary box for these World Championships is Sheldon Franco-Rooks, who will introduce our first contest of the afternoon.
A very good afternoon, Neil, and a very good afternoon to everyone at home. We're going to begin with the contests in the under 48 kilo category. We've got two repechage contests for you, the first of which features Catarina Costa of Portugal. She's up against Julia Figueroa of Spain. It'll be Costa in the white judogi, Figueroa in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Veli-Matti Karinkanta of Finland.
Well, we're just looking there, won't we just see the head-to-heads, but it doesn't look like they have fought before. But it's been a great championship so far, I can tell you. This morning's action was non-stop. And these two have been fighting it out and battling it out. Unfortunate, of course, to lose that one to take them through to the semi-final. But here they are now. They're up there with this chance in the repechage. They've got to win this one, though, to take them through for a chance of a medal.
Yeah, Costa lost out to the number one seed Munkbat Urantsetseg, and Figueroa lost out to the current world champion Tanaki Funa. So, there's no shame in losing to those top two.
Well, no, exactly. I mean, we're in the World Championships here. This is the top of the top, and really, some of these fighters giving it their absolute all. Some of the favourites starting off a bit tentatively, some of them absolutely blasting their way through the field. But anyway, here they come. Costa in white, Figueroa in blue.
And neither of these two were seeded at the beginning of the competition, so to get to this point where they're battling away for a medal place is pretty good. Figueroa defeated Milica Nikolic in her pool. Nikolic was one of the top 8 seeds, and Costa got past Chernovitsky Ava of Hungary, another seeded player. So they both had to knock out seeded players to get this far.
Well, it always does it, doesn't it? The early rounds, if you get... it's the one possibility, actually. The World Championships is where it can happen, where you can have a couple of the unseeded and they come through, do well, and can go really quite far in the World Championships. These two here, this will be a great moment for them. Get to the medal position, certainly where they're fighting for a medal.
Yeah, you could reasonably expect if you were in the top 10 in the world to be, in and around the medal matches. But we seed the top 8. So if you're seeded, if you're number 9 or number 10 in the world, you end up unseeded.
Well, and also it means an extra fight often, doesn't it?
Quite,
because
yeah.
you have to fight in the first round.
Yeah.
Most of the seeded come through into the second round automatically. So there is a passivity situation in judo. So if you don't attack at the right time, if you attack without rotation, without intent to throw, then you can get penalized and you can get a Shido penalty. And a Shido penalty, if you get 3 of those, then you're out of the match. So that's a pretty good motivation there to put the attacks in on time. 4-minute contests for men and ladies, it's the same, but that's actual fighting time. So you'll notice that when a mate is called, that the referee will stop the clock as well. No score at the end of time. If there's nothing on the board, it will go into a golden score situation, and then any score will win.
And there's no score at the moment. We're almost halfway into the contest. Both fighters remain penalty free.
Well, we've got a left to right situation here. Makes it quite awkward sometimes to catch the sleeve if you've got an opposite, and you can normally tell the opposite because you've got one particular foot forward. That was a nice ouchigari there by Figaro.
Just sat her on her backside, and a little bit of a push further down might have come up with a score. Or if she tried to break the fall with her own arms going out the back, but neither of those two things happened, so there's no score.
Well, it's got to be the back or the upper part side that makes contact with the mat to warrant a score. Backside isn't enough. Back in the day, it used to be a little bit different. We used to have a score for it, but less scores now.
Mercifully, I think.
I think so, and I think the main aim is that we aim for the ippon, which is the boxing equivalent of the knockout, really. In judo, the ippon is what we're after. Throw your opponent flat on their back with force, arm lock or strangle for a submission, or hold them down for 20 seconds. And that finishes it off, and you get the maximum points for doing it. They look a bit nervous to me, a little bit, aren't they?
I didn't want to introduce that and spoil anyone's enjoyment at home by saying that repechage contests are nearly always nervous things. What you've got at stake here is one more chance. Win this, you've got a chance for a medal. Both fighters know that, and that's why it's just that little bit nervous. Or World Championships as well.
Well, they've gone far in this Worlds as well, and it's gone well for both of them. So neither one of them wants to fall at this hurdle. Penalty up there to Costa. She gets the Shido, first Shido. And you can see that by the little yellow flag indicated on the board. Certainly Figaro putting in the attacks. She's the one that looks dangerous for a score. Of course, you've got to be a little bit careful as well. If you go flying in, especially with the opposite stance, you go flying in for a particular technique and miss, they can use their hands to whip you over, get a score for what we call a sakeshi. So it's one of the reasons, I think, that they're just being a little bit tentative. It's going to go into golden score. Well, the referee will start them immediately. He's going to let her tie the belt up, I think, but he really will want to get this going as fast as he possibly can.
First one to score in the golden score period will win. That'll be it.
Yeah, that's any score, throw, hold down, arm lock or strangle. Of course, that penalty, as far as the penalties are concerned, 3 still have to be incurred, so one more penalty wouldn't finish it. But I don't think either one of them, I'd probably Figaro with that little sweep on the inside of the leg there with the ouchigari. She's probably been the closest to any kind of score. Now then, reverse Cianagi and came off the wrong side. Costa managed to turn onto a front, no score. And that really was a bit of a drop. She might get a second penalty for that. Here's the reverse Cianagi, spins underneath and just manages to turn onto a front.
Second penalty picked up by Costa. Real disadvantage now. Single error from the Portuguese will put her out, but that's a great effort there.
Well, that's it. It's all over, isn't it? Costa's done it. Figueroa made a mistake, and Costa was right the way underneath for the Cianagi. She was under pressure, wasn't she?
Yes, she was the one that had to come up with something.
And she can't believe it. Figueroa there is just saying, well, where did that go wrong? Everything was going according to plan. Minute into golden score. She was in control of the fight. Definitely, the Ouchi nearly scored a couple of times, and it wasn't to be. Costa disappeared underneath her, caught her for Wazari scored, and she landed onto her side, and she'll go through to fight for third place.
Yeah, a seventh place finish for Julia Figueroa. She hasn't left the mat yet, but the disappointment has already set in.
I think the thing about our sport is that one slip up can cost dearly. I mean, it really can, and it can be a split second. It's not like in tennis where we've got 2 sets to bring it back. You've got a few seconds to bring it back. Look how she lands on her side. So the upper part of the body is nothing to do with the legs, but it is definitely the upper part of the body. And you see that she drives off the back legs there, really drives her opponent and takes her onto her side for a really good Wazari, and what a time to do it.
Figueroa goes out. Costa goes on to fight for the bronze medal, or one of two anyway, because we've got a second repechage contest coming up, and that will determine who fights for the second of the bronze medal. That contest is between Marusa Stanger of Slovenia. She's up against Odgonsetsa Galbadrak of Kazakhstan. It's Stanger in the white judogi, Galbadrak in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Nedim Bayat of Turkey.
Well, Galbadrak, bit unfortunate for her, wasn't it? She was the winner over Biladid last year in the World Championship. She was the one that spoiled that party. But Biladid, the young 17-year-old who's in the semi-final there against Pareto, she reversed it today, and she did it in style. She just turned this young lady over with a Sangaku turn, and she immobilized her for the Osai Komi for the full 20 seconds, and it was all over. And this lady here is her opponent, Stanger of Slovenia. He's going to try and spoil the complete party here. Galbadrak, though, has been one of the most consistent in the in the world ranking events that we've had, the Grand Prix and the Grand Slams, and she has definitely, she's world ranked number 7, and she has been one of the most consistent. Olympic bronze medalist as well. Now, can she rescue her day?
Yeah, Neil was talking earlier on about a single slip, and I suppose she must have seen that coming as soon as the draw was made, and she realised, oh, I'm going to have to face Biladid.
Well, she's definitely come out here all guns blazing, hasn't she? Different Galbadrak just stepping out here. Watch out for this. Now then, trying for the Uranagi.
Stanger lost out to the current Olympic champion Paolo Pareto in their quarter-final.
Yeah, they're both of them actually not lost out to bad people, have they, really? You know, the class in this under 48 kilos category is incredible.
Yeah, the number 2 and the number 3 seeds. So they got there.
Well, she's looking all the time for the counter-attack here, Galbadrak.
Sorry, Pareto had beaten the number 2 seed, Irina Dolgova.
Yes.
Because Pareto was just outside of that seeded group. I think she was 11 in the world ranking
Well,
list.
I think that the Olympic champion Pareto had been out for a little while,
that's
hadn't
right.
she? So her world ranking went down. But you know, when it comes to events and championships, it doesn't. It does mean something, but certainly it doesn't always follow suit. The world rankings. Certainly, Galbadrak here has taken the initiative, and she's the one taking the fight to Stangar. Tries for the Sumigaeshi.
I don't think this is going to be quite as cagey as the previous contest. Galbadrak is a little bit, more aggressive, and Stanger appears to be as well. So one of them is going to.
She's getting very close with that, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's looking for the pickup, the counter technique, and the thing is about counters is that your back, if you're doing the counter, cannot touch the mat first, otherwise it doesn't count. See the rotation she got there when she did that.
Good point.
She gets the score. Yoko Toshi, and she takes her over for a was scored.
Yeah, that sit down. Yoko Toshi just gets the leg out there as well to help her over. The left leg extended.
Yoko meaning side, so you could see, she's been taken down herself here. Made a mistake there, didn't she? She did make a
Just
mistake.
positional, poor position, and Stanger took advantage of it. Great little contest now, this. Minute 46 left to go. Rosario Peace, no penalties, both aggressive.
Both aggressive, both taking the fight, both want it so badly, and you can tell. And Stangar has stepped up the pace now, going for this. She's thought, well, if I can throw once, why not again?
Too far away with a second Yoko Toshi effort.
Well, the thing is that you keep plugging away at the same thing as well, then you're going to have problems. Look at that. Control with the hands there as well were fantastic. She really controlled her over there, Stangar.
Galbadrak will hate that when she sees it on a replay completely, the balance completely going forward, and she just lifted the leg up to try and throw from that position when she was leaning already in the direction in which Stanger ended up taking her for the score. It happened so quickly, just didn't feel that, didn't sense the danger.
No, well, Galbadrak has just changed this now, hasn't she? She's, you can see there's a little bit of urgency. That's it, it's all over. It's all over.
Yeah.
Galbadrak will get the second.
Yeah.
Wazari, and that Sumigaeshi this time finishes it off. It's going to be Galbadrak going through.
Yeah, she just got enough of her over there. Stanger tried to fight it off, but she'd already been caught.
So the Olympic bronze medalist now will be fighting for third place here. And you can see it on the faces quite often, especially if they've got higher expectations, and you can see they're disappointed. Most people would be really happy to be fighting for a medal in the World Championships, but they want a bit more.
No, you're absolutely right, and I think what we read from her face is, well, that one's done. Now I've got to go and get it, because it's the bronze medal she's after. All that this does is allow her the opportunity to fight for it. Now the difficult thing is, who's she going to have?
Well, this is it, isn't it? Now she'll be watching the next contest very, very carefully. She'll have the loser of one of the semi-finals.
The first one as well.
Yes.
And you've got the world number one, Munkpat Urantsetsig, going up against the current world champion, Tsunaki Funa. That's your
bronze medal match.
That's one of them is going down to face Galbadrak. So
there's the Sumigaeshi there, takes
nice.
it over, and she was attacking with it all the time, just needed to get it right, get the angle right. Beautifully controlled with the hands. Didn't quite get a flat on her back for the full lip on, but what a good score that was.
yeah, you're right about the face. It was back on immediately for the next contest. That was what was in the mind. Right, we come now to the first of the semi-finals for the win in the under 48 kilo category. Munkbat Urantsetsig of Mongolia faces Tanaki Funa of Japan. It'll be Munkbat in the white judogi, Tanaki in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Everardo Garcia of Mexico. Here is Neil with his thoughts on this one.
Well, it's going to be a cracker. What can you say? You've got the current world champion there, world rank number 4. Munkbat is world rank number 1. She's a former world champion. And they're head-to-heads, 3-2. And Munkbat is ahead at the moment. So it's going to be interesting. And I think that what you said earlier about they're going to come out here and they're going to go for it. And I think that these two don't know anything else. Just go for it. And I think that Munkbat will be trying to get it to ground. I really do. Munkbat has a history of newaza and good groundwork, and I think that that will be her game plan. There she is, the former world champion. There's the current world champion. Don't forget, she's lost on a couple of occasions to Biladid, who's on in the next semi-final against the Olympic champion Pareto. So what a lineup.
Well, the great thing about this lineup, when we look at the top 4 seeds, number 1 was Munkbat. I'll go down to do number 2 was Dolgova. We lost her, but she was replaced with the current Olympic champion, Paula Pareto. The number 3 was Biladid, and the number 4 was Tanaki. So, we only lost one of them, and we replaced her
with the Olympic champion.
Yeah,
so that's not bad. We can do that.
What a semi-final lineup, and here's the first of them.
So Munkbat is in white here. Left to right, Tanaki left-handed. Does make a difference, but these are gripped up. So I have to say that often it's the problem with the grips, but they're both gripped up. And I think it'll be who can go down to ground first. I think Munkbat, that'll be one of her main game plans. So both receive a Shido, both gripped up, not attacking. So they'll have to do something. They can't afford another one. And there's a Sumigeshi there from Munkbat. Had her up there, didn't she? Vertical. Yeah, we're just making just a demonstration there. The old feet were just flapping around a little bit.
He was airborne for a while.
Well, it's all about breaking balance, and that's going to be a score.
Yes!
Wazari scored to Munkbat.
Just tried to keep off, didn't she? Tanaki couldn't. Very similar to the previous contest as well, where Stanga tried to keep herself off her back, but just couldn't. Maybe kept herself off going flat on the back, but the scoring part of the body came into contact with the tatami, and that's why he gave that score. And as Neil said, on the ground now.
This is where she wants her, because not only can she waste a lot of time, but also she's very dangerous from this situation here. Referee mate'd them, stood them up, and I think Tanaki will be kind of happy about that. There's the Seanagi off the opposite lapel, or same lapel. She's 2 hands on the same lapel. She looks a lot better today. I mean, I've seen a few contests actually where Munkbat has not been as sharp as normal, but certainly looks in good shape here. She's going to get a penalty for that though. Stepped outside, Munkbat. And the referees have been told actually they've got to keep a close eye on the coaches. Too many coaches with too much information and too loud.
Once the contest is underway,
yes.
When the referee calls mate and they stop, then they can give instructions to their fighter when they're tying up their belt or whatever. But once like now, he could bark out a few instructions, and once he says begin or hajime, that's it. It's a quiet time.
Yeah, exactly, and it is too loud and it's really disconcerting, but it's the rule that we have and we've got to stick to it. Look at that. I thought Tanaki was going to cause her real problems there with that foot coming out. She'll have to watch that she doesn't get turned herself.
Trapped strongly that time, Munkbat had the leg. Oh, a little bit of a whack to the chin. Tanaki shrugs that off.
You see that had no rotation there. She's got to be careful, Monkbat, because she could lose this on a third Shido, and that she's got to get rotation. She must get rotation, and it has to have intention to throw.
Tanaki showing her intention. She was straight on there. I'd have stood up and said, well, wasn't an attack.
Yeah, no.
Tactically, I'd have left
Well,
that.
you know, that's the thing, is you can cover up, actually, if you because you're so keen to get in there, and you can kind of cover up for your opponent. But Tanaki's the one that needs to do it, and that's going against the arm. She's got, you know, she's really, Monkbat, starting to panic just a little bit, looking at the clock, 45 seconds left, and that 45 seconds can be 45 minutes when you're out there in a situation like this.
Is the world title disappearing, Neil?
Well, Mate called again. Monkbat this time, as part of the movement, went outside the area. Well, he's going to remove, I think, one of the coaches.
Yeah, Monkbat's coach is on her way.
So if they get warned a second time, the coaches can be removed, and you know, they're shouting information at the wrong time. 36 seconds now then. What's that? She fell on her back, and was it part of her movement, Monkbat, or was it Tanaki that put something into it? Well, they've got to be careful coming up out of groundwork situations as well, because the groundwork situations, it means you can still throw if they're coming up. Oh, she's fallen
that
again.
That is really dodgy. Oh, yeah. Well, it's too late. He's given it. Well, he's already shown what his thoughts.
If it's Hansokamaki now, it's going to go definitely to the judges.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's going to lose this. Can you believe that? Monkbat wants to get on with it. Monkbat has just thrown that away by dropping, and Tanaki is going to have the chance here.
Yeah.
She gets it. Third penalty.
Thrown it away.
Well,
Tanaki was on the verge of going out. Monkbat was on the verge of getting revenge for last year's defeat in the final. It's gone the other way. But she dodged one before. Just a few seconds earlier, there was another penalty possibility. She dodged that. Couldn't dodge the second one. And do you know what was telling about the referee was it wasn't even a thought about whether with the state of the contest. He just thought that was a false attack.
But this is the thing, Sheldon. You know, you get into a situation here where it's the World Championships. It's a penalty's a penalty.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but she was playing a really close game, and it was just too close. Tactics didn't pay off that time. Okay, she did get the score, and it was a positive score, but you can't just block out. You can't flop and drop, and it's really, really unfortunate. But, well, Monkbat of Mongolia loses the possibility of fighting for the world title again. She just drops, and she did it a few times. She was on the edge as well, and I think, well, it was probably a few seconds too late.
I'm really sorry, but there was absolutely no attempt to throw there. None at all. The arm came away. The makikomi goes over the arm. She wasn't anywhere near the arm. You know, I love her to bits, and everybody knew it. And what was really telling for me was, you know, God bless him, the referee in the middle, Everardo Garcia, he'd completely forgotten that there's already a second penalty up there, and he was in the process of just saying Shido, because that is clearly a Shido, and then realised, hey, this is the end of it. Had to think about it, but it was too late. Right, we come now to the second semi-final. Current Olympic champion Paola Pareto of Argentina faces Daria Biladid of Ukraine. It'll be Pareto in the white judogi, Biladid in blue, and having caught his breath, here's Neil Adams.
Wow, it's all excitement, isn't it? I mean, it really is. I mean, Vladimir Nutsabidze here having to referee this one, and you know, you must get excited coming out refereeing this level of contest because, well, Pareto, the Olympic champion, she's got better and better as the day's gone on. But this young lady here, 17 years of age, most of us were, well, I said earlier, I was still in short pants when I was 17 years of age, and she's fighting in the semi-final of a World Championships. She's won the last 5 tournaments, and Billa did. And this lady here, Pareto, Olympic champion, former world champion, and she is here again. And she showed her real class here by getting better and better as she's gone on. So it should be a cracker.
Already has a world title to her name and an Olympic title. Is there going to be another one? There's the gold back patch. Let's see how they stack up with height difference and the speed of Pareto's low Marotta Seanagi.
Yeah, well, the thing is as well is Billadid is very tall, should be perfect for Pareto, but if Billadid catches the sleeves first, which is probably what she's going to intend to do, she will want to stop the drops of Pareto. And she'll be too strong for her. That's my opinion, but we'll see how it goes, you know, as we go further on. And the other thing is that they've never met before, these two, so it's the first time.
I think the limbs as well, you've got the long arms and long legs of Billadid, making it that little bit more difficult for Pareto to close the gap. You've got the Ashiwaza, and here she's on the arm as well. Oh, it's just gone the other way.
Wow, that was so close, wasn't it? As soon as she catches that sleeve and then the arm goes over the top, at the same time she does the Ouchi-gari. Look at the Ouchi there. She catches so many with it. Oh, my goodness. Pareto just manages to climb off that.
And if they're not on the mat edge, there's more chance for Billadid to work in Newaza, where I think she is stronger than Pareto, especially with the Sangaku Gatami. We may yet see that. I'm sure Pareto's hoping that we won't, but that could come up.
Well, Pareto will have to get rotation for her Seanagi techniques because she will get penalties.
Here's what we were talking about. This is the entry now for Billadid. No. She's got that covered this time round.
How often do you see it, though, where an Olympic champion is coming out and it's probably not favourite? It's a bit strange, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is
she's
odd.
coming out here and, you know, we're all thinking, well, the 17-year-old could just do this. But, you know, you never know. The class of Pareto is such that anything can happen.
Legs
now,
are hooked already.
They are. They're hooked in there.
Just looking for the turn now. How strong is Pareto?
She's going over.
Yes, here it comes. Good turn from Pareto. She went with it.
She did.
Yeah.
I mean, credit to her, but this could just be it again. The referee letting this develop.
Yeah.
He does. Well, you've got to leave it. Starts inside, goes outside. It's got to let it go. Pareto holding on. She really is holding on. She knows if she rolls over, it's all over.
Stop there. It's a third effort there. So Pareto escapes. But the danger signs are there. And now, what's really dangerous for Pareto is she's going to try and run from that situation. That's when you make mistakes.
Well, you know, of course, she relies very much on the second and third stab and the readjustment of her Sodi Surikomigoshi there that she just threw in there. But she's not going to get that chance with Billadid because Billadid is so strong to stop it. She has such a good defence.
This is a good battle here. Pareto does catch people with that Sode. You get the hands on, and there you go. But she hasn't yet troubled Billadid.
There's the arm over, and she just drops there. Look, that's going to be a penalty.
Yeah.
Can't just drop. You've got to take your opponent with you. You've got to have a grip.
As soon as she got that grip on, Pareto was out of there. Didn't like it at all. Burns one Shido.
Well, that's it. And you see that we see a lot from Pareto, but you've got to give her credit because she does readjust and she scores off the angle as well. It doesn't always go completely underneath her opponent, but with Biladid, who's so much taller, she's going to make her look bad.
Into the last minute already, Neil.
Well, it's gone quickly because we're into it. Oh, it's going to be it.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Wazari scored there. Biladid, Ochigari, and she just drove her backwards. The Olympic champion in trouble.
With 40 seconds left on the clock. And again, working on the ground. It's a favourite place. Clock starts to burn up. And there's always the chance of her catching her opponent anyway. So this is where Biladid loves to be. Half a minute left to go.
30 seconds left. Let's have a look how she did it. Look at that. She hits off the grip and just Ochi and drives it.
Avoided every effort.
Good balance.
Yeah.
Not only good balance, she has good stance, and she really, I mean, this is the Olympic champion she's fighting.
Oh, she's decided to step out there, and she'll take a Shido. That's it. First time I've seen Biladid employ this kind of tactic. She knew exactly where she was. She knew how much time was left on the clock. She was off. She wasn't getting anywhere near Pareto, and she's done the same thing again then. She knows there's 4 seconds. I've never seen her do that before. She's always been, stick to the fight, be positive. She's just said, I'm not getting near you, and you're not getting near me.
She just needed to play that out. A little bit of tactics there. She
not
went
attractive, but hey.
Come on, 17 years of age in the final of the World Championships here. The Olympic champion she's just beaten.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
I'm off.
Well, she's my daughter's
Yeah.
favourite athlete, and she'll be watching this. I know she'll be watching it.
Your daughter's in the long line there.
Oh, she is. Brooke will be watching and shouting her on. So... fantastic stuff here. Biladid then is in the final against Tenaki.
What a story. And she's going to go up against a Japanese who she's been up against twice already, the current world champion, and beaten her both times. She's never lost to a Japanese.
No. Well, she's, without making any bold predictions, it looking good for the 17-year-old, but no matter what happens, she's in the final of the World Championships at 17 years of age.
Her last World Championships were the only competition that she's ever fought in where she didn't make the podium. And she lost in round 3 and ran out of the arena. It was a feeling that she'd never experienced before, knowing that she was not going to be on the podium. This time, completely different. Big smile from Pareto, bigger smile from Biladid. Downs the Olympic champion. Now the only thing that she's got to do is beat the world champion in the final of the World Championships.
In the final of the World Championships. She's already done that, but a couple of times just recently. But anyway.
Right, we come now to the first of the first of the repechage contest in the under 60 kilo category. A huge weight category, this one. I think there were 68 in the weight category in total. This contest features Kim Yong-kwon of the People's Republic of Korea. He faces Karamat Husseinov of Azerbaijan, and the referee in the middle for this one is Yevgeny Raklin. Here's Neil.
Well, Husseinov had a really great run through in the early rounds. He really did. He was blasting his way through, and well, it just went wrong when he was up against Takato. Takato took him out. He just stayed on all fours, actually, and nobody knows why. And he'd been throwing everybody for Ippon. But the big surprise here, of course, is Kim Yong-kwon. People's Republic of Korea, we haven't seen him out. He's got a world ranking of 305 because we haven't seen him out at the Grand Prix or Grand Slams. And so here he is, fighting to get to a bronze medal position. And it's amazing, and it happens all the time. People's Republic of Korea, they do their own preparation, they do their own events, and here he is in the repechage finals of the World Championships here. Husseinov, though, has home support.
Nerve-wracking times for the home crowd on the edge of their seats as they hope that they can get a shot at a medal here. But as Neil said, the athletes from North Korea always come up with something a bit special. He's just going to go on down his side. It'll be Wazari. Yeah.
It's going to be a Wazari, that one. Sorisura Komigoshi, the crowd loved that. Mr. Marius Visa, our president of the International Judo Federation, who just has done so much for our sport and is still doing so much for our sport. Now then, he fired back.
Yeah.
Well, he gets the Wazari as well, so same technique, back and forth.
All in the first 45 seconds.
Well, great stuff, isn't it?
Good one.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're out here to fight, so that's what we want.
So much for the slow starts in the repechage contest I was talking about. Almost goes over again.
Yes,
Couldn't
big
quite get the finish.
Face plant this
Yeah.
time, my goodness.
Be one of those bruises down the
Oh, definitely. He'll
down
wake
the
up
side.
with that one in the morning. Well, this crowd right the way up to the rafters. It's great to see. It's what is expected, actually. Few spare seats, but I think it's going to all fill up as we get towards the weekend. It'll be jam-packed full.
Yeah.
So both of them a little bit more tentative now. Looking for the same technique.
I was gonna say, yeah.
He is just looking
Yeah.
for the same one, isn't it? And you know what? A lot of the time you get caught with your own technique. It happens a lot.
Half the contest gone. Nicely balanced that Wazario piece.
Well, I think it's Hazainov that, I mean, they're all booing Kim, but Hazainov is the one that's got to start putting the attacks back in now because it's Kim taking the initiative. Halfway through the contest, 4 minutes for the men, 4 minutes for the ladies. That's going to be a Shido there for Kim because he definitely didn't rotate that time. Well, he gets away with it. I don't know how. So now Kim coming back into this. Hazainov will have to pick up the pace. 1 minute 26 left on the clock. Don't forget that these fighters, they have to attack within a certain amount of time, so they have less than a minute to make sure that they are positive within that time limit, but they've got to attack. I mean, if they're passive and they're blocking out with the arms, they can get a penalty sooner. It doesn't have to be 45 seconds.
Well, they went off great guns, didn't they? Both of them firing off right away. And now the defences have come into it. That's a nice effort there from Kim. He almost gets turned. No,
I didn't think so. It's a bit too much off the ground.
Off the ground,
you can,
yeah.
Transition from ground as you're starting to stand up and you can throw, but certainly not from a groundwork situation. Last 30 seconds, normal time.
I haven't seen any footwork from Kim that might help to set things up. Just there's Husseinov there, just to unsettle him, because then your opponent has to resettle, and it's in that period that you're looking to come up with your own attack. 15 seconds left to go. Husseinov worse for wear after that last exchange.
Well, I think this is where he's got to be careful, Hazainov, because certainly the Korean's going to come forwards, and Hazainov just tend to lose his puff just that little bit. He's off the pace and he wants as much rest as he can possibly get. Look at that laboured walk back. Referee should get them going straight away, and off they go. So there's no rest period.
I thought you were going to say there's no rest for the wicked, but I was just wondering which one you were going to
True
pick.
as well.
Which one
Absolutely.
you would pick.
Do you know what we were watching earlier as well? They're not one of them taking advantage of them coming up out of the Newaza situation. Hands and knees they can't defend from.
Bella did threaten with that a couple of times, but Pareto just, wasn't moving. But you're right, this pair. It is that, and it puts so much pressure on you, so worried.
Well, you can't touch the legs in defence,
yeah.
so you know that there's a situation going to be there, possibility anyway.
Half a minute of golden score gone.
Well, certainly no rotation there with that Cianagi.
I don't speak Korean, but I think he was telling him to go forward. Just a guess. Just beginning to shade it now, isn't he, Husseinov? A couple of attacks.
I think this really depends now on who wants it most. They've got to make sure that they don't do anything silly, no drops, just make sure that it's a strong attack. Oh!
Now he comes back.
Yeah, he does. It's back and forth, isn't it, this match? Well, that was a close one as well, wasn't it there? Kim right the way through. Husseinov didn't put any kind of return back on it. Watch how he commits here. There he commits, drives, and then rotates. There's nothing to do with actually the movement of Husseinov. So he doesn't get any score. It was all Kim. And now we're going to see, I think, another penalty coming up to Husseinov any second now. It's going to drop underneath again. And I think definitely now Husseinov, well, everybody's booing for the wrong reasons, actually. I think the crowd's starting to get involved because obviously they want Husseinov to win this, but...
He still looks reasonably up for it, doesn't he, Mr. Kim? Moving, he just lost contact with the left hand and made that look a little bit unattractive.
There's an interesting situation, right? They will look at that now. The referee supervisors will look at that and just see if it was a score.
I'd have done two things here as Mr. Rakulin. The first one is, mate, and the second one is, I'll let you know when it's a score or not, because the Azeri was signalling Wazari, the fighter himself, not a coach. I said, hey, I'll let you know when it's
his second job, It's his second job.
And if it is, I'll get the single.
What they're trying to do now, they're trying to decide whether it was too much off the ground. So if they were in a groundwork situation, then it can't work. If they're starting to stand up, then you can do it. But I don't think that was a score, personally.
Oh dear.
I've given it.
And the landing I was looking at was that, I think Kim is thinking that it's more off the ground. But he takes it, he bows off. And Husseinov is already on his way.
Well, it is nice that we've got an Azeri in the medal matches. Of course, that's always nice because on home soil as well. He's had a good day today, I've got to say.
It's been a bit of a surprise package, has Husseinov, to be honest.
Well, he definitely wasn't the favourite, was he? You know, when you have a look at obviously Safarov being the favourite.
He had a shocker, didn't he? He just got absolutely caught cold.
Now then,
Safarov.
when I look at it from this situation now, definitely
it's a little bit
score.
different. Yeah,
I wouldn't have given it an ippon, but I definitely it was a score.
I think you just gave it Wazari, and then you saw him giving the Awazeti ippon.
Yeah, this is a situation now where people think it's all over. Wait for the mate. So what we have discussed is basically that you can get into a situation where you can still be thrown. So
absolutely agree.
That's what happened there.
One single second look was all you needed to verify that Kim was in Tachiwaza, but not Husseinov. Husseinov never went to ground until he went for the Sutemiwaza, at which point Kim thought, hey, we're both on the ground because I am. No, it doesn't work that way. He was, you know, Uke was, but Tori was still standing up. He went into the ground to do to carry out the throw. So I go with the commission on that one. Wazari.
I think so too. A good score. He'll be fighting for third place. We don't know who that's going to be yet. It'll be one of the losing semi-finalists. Of course, whoever doesn't get through to the final will come down to fight automatically for bronze.
We've got the second of the repechage contests, and that features Lee Ha-rim of the Republic of Korea. He faces Eric Takabatake of Brazil. It's Lee in the white judogi, Takabatake in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Frank Dirch of Germany. I cut across you, Neil. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just trying to get it out that the losing semi-finalists automatically come down to fight for third place, but the ones that lost at the quarter-final stage, they have to come through this final repechage match. So that's what it's about.
And now, your friends, please.
Jori Verstraeten of Belgium was up in that crowd. The young Belgian boy fought really, really well today. Got to third or fourth round. It was a huge group. There's 68 competitors, and Jori was right in there in the mix. I felt really good for him. He was looking good. Good World Championships. There's a look at Lee Ha-rim. And there's Eric Takabatake. Yuka made the headlines as the first ever women's coach for the Brazilian men's team.
Is she overall?
Yeah.
The overall Brazilian team.
She's the head honcho. The head cheese. The top dog.
Takabatake, a really stylish judo player. But Lee here, a big throw as well for he's got a really good reverse Seanagi, but he's got some really good shoulder throws left and right. But let's have a look and see how these two do, and hope it's not too tactical and they go for it. Well, it only went one way. One Shido given. I didn't see any of them attacking. So the winner of this will be fighting for third place.
So nice.
Now then.
Yeah. Typical Korean execution, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so typical. Lee does the reverse Seanagi, gets the score. He knew it as well, didn't he? He just knew that he'd nailed it. Kind of do a spin through and you come off the wrong side.
There's another look at it.
Yeah, wow. So really, he rotated through. You kind of think, well, he's over-rotated and he's come through the wrong way. And, well, it was a rear throw, really, wasn't it? The direction was actually more to the back. Just not the direction that you would expect to go. Controls the upper part of the lapel, and actually when you rotate through, what it does, it spins and ties up the lapel so tight that you have to kind of go with it just to release the pressure. So anything to do with doctors, anybody has to leave, any medical thing, they have to leave the mat area, kind of leaves the other one into in the centre, and he's just mulling over what he's got to do to win this. So 68 judoka competing in this under 60 kilos category, nearly 70 people in this category, which is absolutely huge. Means it puts an extra round in. So some people to win this would have to do 6 contests.
That's asking a lot, isn't it?
Well, at this level it is. You know, it's I mean, 6 contests when it's normally 5 to win a world title or Olympic title. Let's just put another one in. Yes, it.
I think we have had some others with a few more, even.
I think the most was 7, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In modern day, the most was 7. Still plenty of time here. Lee can't take this for granted because he's got 1 penalty on the board as well. 1 more really put him into trouble. So Takapataki just needs to keep plugging away here. Don't panic. Lots of time. You can see they're having a problem catching the sleeves here, and they're both having the same problem. But like I said, Lee will need to do something, because if he gets 1 more penalty, he's going to be in real trouble. So he doesn't really know what to do, does he, Takapataki? He doesn't know how to turn this around, how to find his way through the defences of Lee.
Lee has stayed in every contest that he's been in right to the end, and a couple in gold and score. And there are times when he looks as though, you know, he's almost out on his feet, because he just never stops going. He's that busy type of, you know, almost like wind-up kind of drummer doll that the Koreans produce from time to time.
Well, he's coming forward now, Takapataki. Oh, now is that it? I think it is. So second was Ari there for Lee, drops underneath. That was a good performance from him. Takapataki, well experienced, and couldn't do anything about it.
We'll forgive him that one at the end when, in desperation,
He had to go forward.
He had to go forward, and he rather walked onto that, didn't he? 3 seconds left to go. What to do? Let's just go for it. And Lee saw that one coming, rolled him over, and he takes his place in the second. No, that's the first of the
That was the first one, and sorry, the second bronze.
Second bronze medal match. He
yes.
takes his place in the second of the bronze medal matches.
Yes,
yeah,
he
beg your
does.
pardon.
Spectators, you can see the highlights of this repechage contest.
Sianagi, sleeve lapel, and Takapataki knew that he had to rotate at some stage there. Went onto his side.
Yeah, sorry about that. Didn't mean to cause any confusion about where Lee was going to go. I'd forgotten that we'd already had Husseinov and Kim.
So Wazari, Awazeti upon two Wazaris, and Takapataki will have to make do with fifth place, I think. Sorry, seventh place, isn't it, if you lose at this stage.
We come now to the first of the semi-finals. And this features Nagayama Ryuji of Japan against teammate Takato Naohisa. It'll be Nagayama in the white judogi, Takato in blue. Don't worry about the one-to-one head-to-head there. That's on the International Judo Federation World Judo Tour. No doubt they've gone head-to-head plenty of times. They're actually at the same university in Japan, and the referee in the middle for this one is Lubomir Peter of Australia. Here's Neil.
Well, almost for sure as well. They've been training partners for an amount of years. They're going to know each other really, really well here. So I think this man here will be going for his third world title here, and this one here would be going for his second. So neither one of them, I mean, well, both of them, should I say, have really got something to fight for. And as far as the Olympics is concerned, well, the Olympic Games isn't that far away, so they'll be wanting to get a very important win because they'll only be able to select one for the Olympic Games. So this is quite an important match for these two, other than getting through to the final of a World Championships.
Well, as Neil just said, one of these is assured of being on the podium. Where they're going to be on the podium, we don't know. One will be in the final, so it'll be gold or silver. We don't know what that's going to be. We're not so sure about the other, because they would still go into the bronze medal match and they may be off. Or it could be that we'd see both of them on the podium.
It might do, and it should be a good match. I'm hoping so too. I hope that they don't cancel each other out too much. Nagayama is in white. He's the current world champion. He is not the current world champion. Takato is the current world champion, but he's the current world number one.
Absolutely. What a position to be in. Whoops.
Yeah. Well, he's been scoring well, Takato, all day. He's got a couple of really good shimmy wazas at the right time. He's just been taking them out as if they're nobody, and well, we'll see. I think that he just had a little go at the Sangaku there with his knees, and I think they overstretched a bit. And of course, you've got to take into consideration that form doesn't always pass over to two Japanese fighting each other. Oh my goodness, what a fast Sianagi that was. And I was just about to say that often what happens is they go for ippons all the time, and then they get caught. And, well, Takato went right the way over. Have a look at this. Look at the full rotation he does. Now, he bridged out there, and he might just be disqualified for this.
Yeah, he's got a habit of doing that because he's very athletic, isn't he? He's like an escapologist. And unfortunately, if you attempt to use your head to bridge off a technique, you receive Hansokumake for that because it's a dangerous act.
Well, I'm thinking now that if they let that go, then they might be in trouble. Yeah.
Once they give it the signal.
Look at it. So look again. Let's have a look how he goes underneath there. Well, he definitely used the head on the latter part. He couldn't stop the first initial bridging situation because his head hit the ground because of what his opponent did. But It was the intention to... oh, my goodness, they've let it go. Wow. Well, that'll certainly be up for discussion, that's for sure.
We can work out here why they would have allowed that. And it could be that it's because he's off the side and not, you know, how they go right over the top where the neck is bent and extended. That's the only reason I can think.
Intention would be my word. You know, was it intentionally a bridge to bridge, or you know, did it happen so quick because it was the quickest Seoinage? You know, was it just because it was so quick and he had no control over it? But anyway, they've let it go. Let's not say any more about it.
Yep.
Japanese supporters up there, obviously family of Nagayama and Takato, sorry, and they're all up there cheering them on. These are teammates, don't forget. Certainly, this is a different Takato coming out here fighting his fellow countrymen. And he needs to get onto the pace here, Takato, because he really is behind. Nagayama has been all out attack. Japanese trials that they hold prior to the Olympic Games, they hold their own Japanese trials, and often the world champions won't get a look in at the Olympic Games because they lose the trials, you know, so they have their own little system in Japan, and quite often it's not always the ones you expect coming through. I remember Shozo Fuji, 4-time world champion. World championships were every other year at that stage. Never made the Olympic Games. Always lost in the Japanese trials.
It's harsh, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard, but and then the one that went instead of always won the Olympic title.
Vindication, if you like, for that selection process.
I don't know how Nagayama is the one behind here because
he's looked the better of the two.
Well, absolutely, he's been absolutely throwing himself underneath there. Takato's been cartwheeling and Baranian off the techniques, and here he is losing this, or just behind.
Yeah, he's reactive, isn't he, Takato, as opposed to going forward positive. Yeah, and I've spotted that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he's just been waiting for the right opportunity. Nagayama's the one putting the work in.
Both fighters have picked up penalties. Now we've got half a minute left to go. Again, Nagayama attacking left side with that low Morote Seoinage.
Well, he hasn't even looked. Takato hasn't even looked as if he's close to getting near Nagayama. Nagayama as the one that's taken the initiative. He's the one that's been attacking. I think Takato picked up a little knee tweak as well at the beginning here. Second penalty up to Takato.
And again, Nagayama's, it's like he's got the scent now, you know? Like a beast hunting prey. He senses the chance for a few attacks to get him ahead. And to, if he can't catch him, to throw him, at least tactically be superior and possibly put Takato out with a third penalty.
Well, it would be interesting. I'd like to be a fly on the wall as to who is the number one in their university.
That's now that
might just be it. Great stuff from Takato. That was a counter. Now, let's have a look how he lands, first of all, as far as the counter is concerned. Look where his back is. No, his back hits first, so it can't be his.
Yeah.
It definitely can't be his. And also,
there's no scoring part of the body
score anyway.
Of Nagayama on the mat.
Nagayama didn't touch.
Yeah.
So definitely no score. It can't be a score.
But the nice thing is, Lubomir Peter, the referee, hasn't given a score. The only person that's given a score is Takato.
Yeah.
And we just called Husseinov for giving his own score, so we called Takato
Yes,
as well.
yeah.
Stick to what you can do. Now that is close.
I think that's his score. I
is
think
close.
this time he landed.
Yeah.
Wazari scored there for Takato, and Takato has just stolen this.
Other direction.
Yeah, change of direction.
Right away.
16 seconds
Yeah.
into golden score.
The winner and in the final for men 60 kilogram for Japan, Takato.
Wow. Well, I mean, that went against the form, didn't it? It really did. And he definitely has tweaked that knee. Now, he's just a
Slow
little
coming
bit of
off,
a
yeah,
limp
yeah.
coming off there. And I think he tweaked it when he was doing the Sangaku, and it's triangular strangle with the legs. And I think that they'll have to probably inject that to stop the pain. But he won't mind as long as it can get him through the final of the World Championships. But, well, this man, for me, absolutely dominated. He was that close off, wasn't he? Several really big attacks, but it was just this switch in direction, just about, wasn't it? Really just about. Was it a score? It was a beautiful reaching Kouchi. And look at the side. Yes, it was. The side hits the ground first, the top half of his side. And it was a really opportune moment from Takato that takes him through to the final of this World Under-60s title match.
It just about gets the scoring part of the body down onto the side. He's quite animated, isn't he, for a Japanese fighter? They're normally a little bit subdued.
Yeah, a little bit louder than most of them.
We come now to the second semi-final for the men in the under 60 kilo category. Robert Shvidobadze of Russia faces Amiran Papinashvili of Georgia. It'll be Shvidobadze in the white judogi, Papinashvili in blue. And Papinashvili is the one.
Yeah, 2-0 up and they're head-to-heads, which is interesting, isn't it? But Mishvidabadze is one of the ones that I put forward as, when we were just looking at who we thought was going to do well, and Papinashvili was up there as well. World rank number 2 and 3, and here they are. Papinashvili, has to be said, has had great form, hasn't he, all the way through?
He's thrown beautifully today a couple of times for Ippon, especially with Ashiwazi. He's looked really sharp.
Safarov, he did earlier. He did Gurchev of Bulgaria.
Gurchev and Safarov were both stunners. I mean, one stunned the crowd into life and applause, and the second one stunned the crowd into silence because it was their man on the receiving end.
And Takapataki, well, he beat him as well. But he's had a great run through.
Referee in the middle for this one is Raul Camacho of Spain.
Mishvidabadze in white for Russia. Papinashvili of Georgia in blue. And these guys can throw from different angles, so there's nothing orthodox about what's going to happen here. They say that rules dictate development. They're not allowed to touch the legs. Remember, when it comes to any kind of throwing action, but what they can do is they can touch every other part, really, to assist them, whether it's a pick-up, a counter, direct attack. They can go left and right, so many possibilities. This is the situation. And Papinashvili there, just on one knee, just suddenly realised he could still be thrown. One Shido on the board for Mushfadabadze.
Arm went around the waist there from Papinashvili and looked dangerous for a moment, but Shudabadze was up and out of there very quickly.
Well, certainly it's the sharpest that I've seen him, Papinashvili, for a long time. I think that tends to happen with competition. You know, you have a good run and people kind of suss you out for a bit, and then you have to reinvent yourself.
World number 3 and seeded number 3, given that we had the world number 1 and number 2 here.
Mushfadabadze trying to dominate that head, and then, well, he's looking up to the referee, just looking for the penalty for his opponent, and that's exactly what he's just got there. Papinashvili gets Shido for it. Yes, I think Papinashvili took him down. That's a Wazari for Papinashvili.
Ooh, chance for the Yosai Komi here, Neil.
A little bit of a panic there from Papinashvili.
Oh, he was lucky there.
He suddenly realised, didn't he, there, that he was in trouble. So it didn't quite go right there for Papinashvili. For Mushfadabadze, but Papinashvili just redirects the technique, takes him down for the score. But nearly made a mistake there with the hold down. So 1 minute left. Well, it's always the most difficult, isn't it? The last minute is, well, it's everything to play for still, but you don't want to make mistakes. Gone into defensive mode now, Papinashvili. He's going to go a penalty here.
I'd give it now.
Absolutely, he's just not gripping up, so he will get the penalty, but he's got 20 seconds to hold on to this.
There's the second penalty, the little yellow cards you see there. Needs to get upright and avoid getting a third.
One good attack now will do it. Oh, he's gone over. Now then, he's got the Wazari back. Oh, well, you know what? That's just what you get for running too much, isn't it? You know, and he ran. Now it's going to go into golden score, and it's all even. And he changed the direction. He did almost the same there, and you can see he just tries to stay off his back, doesn't he? But it doesn't happen.
Frozen on his face, wasn't he? No. Yes.
It's definitely one of those, isn't it? No, but. You run away too much, too early, and it can go terribly wrong.
He gave up a second penalty and the throw within the last, 20 seconds? Shouldn't have happened.
So not over yet, this match. Well, they've both proved as well, haven't they, that they can just switch it. They can switch a complete movement on a dime. Oh, now then! Did he land?
Yeah.
Well, everybody was looking at that there. Papinashvili can't believe it, and Mishvidabadze saved it just a few seconds from the end, gets a Wazari scored, and the Russians there on their feet. Papinashvili, well, he ran away just that little bit too much. Mishvidabadze gets one of those contests back, doesn't he? Because it was 2-0 to Papinashvili before this, but what a time to do it. He's in the final.
Well, he blew out last year at the World Championships in Budapest. No finish for him there. But this year, he has the chance to really make good. He makes the final. It'll be Takada Nahisa to face Robert Shvidabadze. There you go. That's our lineup. So we've got 6 medal matches in total to bring you, but before we do that, let's have a look at the highlights from that contest.
It doesn't always go according to plan, and I think one of the problems is that we can plan too much sometimes. Look how he's pulling the head down there of Papinashvili. Papinashvili, though, he knew as soon as he landed that it was all over. Tried to hold on. Koichigak just reaps that leg forwards there, and Papinashvili lands on his side.
The late Roy Inman had a book in which he would explain, using Japanese terms, every action, and he added these new what did he call it, the Kokuzai Waza or something, do you remember? And he had the Sode sleeve, the Makikomi arm, the Koichigaki, and he probably have referred to that as the Koichigaki Makikomi finish.
Probably.
We shall leave that, but we shall remember warmly Roy Inman. Right, we come to the first of the bronze medal contests. For the women in the under 48 kilo category, Catarina Costa of Portugal faces Paula Peretta of Argentina. It's Costa in the white judogi, Peretta in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Mathieu Bataille of France. Neil.
Yeah. Well, this is going to start it all off. All medal matches now, and there's a former world bronze medalist himself out there refereeing this match.
And there's a world champion taking pictures there.
And the president, and the president of our federation,
Mr. Marius Visa in the middle. On the left was Rofnav Abdullayev, the president of the Azeri Judo Federation, and on Mr. Visa's left, the singing star from Italy, Albano. Right, back to the judo then, Neil. Go on.
Well, this lady, got to give her credit because she's always there roundabout, and she had a little bit of time off after the Olympic Games, Peretta, and Peretta is back, and she's having the best day, but this lady here, well, I was going to say, keeps going to the wrong one just as I'm speaking, but Costa from Portugal having an absolutely fantastic day. She really is. Costa's in white, Peretta, the Olympic champion, is in blue.
I think she'll be okay with today if she takes this medal. Paula Peretta will, be on the podium, World Championships, after an injury, and I think she'll feel okay about it. But, a loss here would really, really hurt, especially to Costa.
Well, yes, especially as she was unseeded, but, look at that. She's going to get a score for that. Wazari there for Peretta. And that's what I meant about the previous match, about the readjustment. She likes to go underneath, and she likes to get the readjustment from the techniques. So she'll go once, then she'll go again, but this one was really, really deep there, and it's constant. She gets her to roll over in the end. She goes onto her back, and she gets a score for it.
The reason I said that, you know, she'd be a little bit upset to lose to Costa is Costa's down there at number 20 in the world, and everybody who's up on that podium and in and around the medals, you know, they're all going to be, you know, Munkbat, Biladid, Tonaki, you know, Galbadrak, they're all up there in the
1, 2, 3, 4 and 5.
top 8, you know. And Paretta's not that far off at number 11, so she's not, you know, despite the fact of having been off and injured, she's not that far away from the top group. She won't want to lose to number 20.
She won't. But looking at it from the other side, Costa, wow, you know, to get a medal here for Portugal and,
against the
you know,
Olympic champion, what a scalp.
You know what it would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And climb up the world ranking list as well.
But I think that might happen anyway for Pareto as well.
Yeah, both of them will get points here because one will finish third and one will finish fifth. Help to push up their rankings, although they will be battling against Munkbat, Biladid, Tanaki, Galbadrak, all of whom, you know, are ahead of her.
Up there.
Yeah, so a bit tricky to close the gap.
Just over halfway. Well, Costa will need a major score on the board. So far it's been all Pareto. Very experienced, the Olympic champion. She knows how to block out just what to do. That's going to be it. Rosario Etiepon for Pareto. Pareto will get the bronze medal.
That came to Costa as almost an annoyance because she knew that that was the go-to technique. She knew what she had to avoid. There just wasn't any way for her to get off that one. Very well executed from Pareto. We know that she can do that. That was the thing that Biladid never got threatened with. She went over there twice, Costa, but Biladid never even got threatened with it.
But the thing was that Biladid controlled the grips, she controlled the stance, and you know, you can see that she's very, very happy with that. Pareto, she's Olympic champion, don't forget. She's been world champion before as well, and very happy with third place because it was a good performance. And being a great champion that she is, it's a performance that shows that she's still consistently there and roundabout. And that's what a great champion is.
Yeah, back on the world podium.
Dear friends, you can see the highlights on the screen. This is the victory of Olympic champion, Paula Pareto, Argentina.
Sorry, Sorika Migoshi again. It's exactly the same situation as the first one there. Just went for it. Readjusted, had a second stab at it, carried on the rotation. Look at the kumakata, which is so important, and that finished it all off. Well, we've definitely got an interesting one coming up for this next bronze medal, and
for very good reasons.
Well, very good reasons here. And Galbadrak is going to be coming out. Galbadrak, of course, is the former Mongolian fighter, went over to fight for Kazakhstan. She's going to be fighting her old teammate, Munkbat of Mongolia, the former world champion, for third place. So a little bit of history there. Yep. And that is just about to unfold. Great rotation there from Pareto. Pareto just so happy with that, and another world medal to add to her tally.
Yeah, one went one side and then the other, and it almost looked as though Costa was expecting her to come in for a second attack on the same side. Didn't happen. Right, we come now to the second of the bronze medal contest, and this features Otgonsetse Galbadrak of Kazakhstan. She's up against Munkbat Orensetse of Mongolia. It'll be Galbadrak in the white judogi, Munkbat in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Frank Dirch of Germany.
Well, they're head-to-heads, 3-1. 4-3. They've gone 7 times in the Grand Prix Grand Slams, and so 4-3 to Munkbat, and so Munkbat is leading the charge at the moment.
And God only knows how many times they fought in Mongolia and how much training.
Yeah.
And we really don't know, to be honest, what the relationship is there, as far as, you know, the thoughts of the Mongolian team about Galbadrak, you know, jumping ship and then going to Rio and taking a medal.
Well,
So,
she did,
you know,
didn't she? This young lady here, she went to Kazakhstan. She didn't think she was going to get the Olympic place in Mongolia, so she was able to fight for them. She had to qualify late, which meant she only had a year to qualify all the points for the Olympic Games. Just qualified and went and won the bronze medal. And of course, this lady here is the current. She was the world champion, Munkbat, didn't get a medal. So, no love lost between these two. Munkbat in blue and Galbadrak in white.
Fight within a fight, this one. Second of the bronze medal contest. We've already seen the Olympic champion Paolo Pareto take third place. There's another bronze medal at stake here. But there's just a little bit more on this fight than your usual third place finish.
Well, I wonder if the Mongolians will still think that they've won a bronze medal if it goes the wrong way. Maybe I know a couple I'll ask. No, I won't. They obviously know each other really, really well. And this is where definitely Munkbat will try and take advantage on the ground. Galbadrak will be so quickly up off the floor.
Yes, Munkbat's Newas is quite legendary, isn't it? So Galbadrak will be well aware of that.
Especially with the groundwork as it is now, because if we've got a little bit more time to follow it and develop the groundwork, so if it's developing, the referee will allow it to develop. They won't stop it. Well, she hasn't really attacked Munkbat. She's got to put something in. It's got to be from a standing position as well. Galbadrak, she hasn't really done full-blooded attacks either, but it's Munkbat that gets it. Second penalty up there. I think she was devastated losing that semi-final as she did. Absolutely devastated. She really threw it away.
Should have been in the final.
And now, of course, fighting for third place. And often you think, well, that's not enough. And this could be a bad situation here for Galbadrak, because not the place that she really wants to be here. Monkbat, she's going to get the leverage now, and it's so close, it really is.
She wants to go for the far leg, but she can't let go of the top half. She's got to keep control of that. And she didn't look as though she was going to make sufficient progress, so the referee called Mate.
Well, it would be interesting, wouldn't it, just to know what their relationship is and just how they are together. Penalty up to Galbadrak then.
Inside the last minute now. 2 penalties picked up by Monkbat, just the 1 by Galbadrak.
She knows that she has to attack Monkbat, and it has to be good rotation and a good feel to it. Now looking for the arm underneath, starting to work now. Oh, Sumigeshe by Galbadrak, right on the edge.
It wasn't a bad little effort on the left side from the Kazakh fighter. Just had the legs going over a little bit of Monkbat, but not enough to bring her down onto her side.
You can see that they definitely know each other. It's one of those situations where you're half reading what's happening or what's going to happen. Still everything to fight for, everything to win here. There's nothing on that gentleman that would tell you he's done judo before.
So glad I never had to practice with people like that. So, another contest goes into golden score. We've had just a few. We're pretty good today.
Do you know what? Monkbat just dropped onto her back there, no hands. Is she going to get away with it? She might not. It's all over.
No,
She just dropped on her
again.
back. Yes, she's thrown it away again. And she knows exactly what she did. She just dropped on her back. She didn't have any hands on Galbadrak. Galbadrak wins the bronze medal, and that's the second time, consecutive time, that she's done that. And Monkbat
Just
will be absolutely
untidy.
livid.
Really untidy from Monkbat, slightly thoughtless.
Well, there's nothing you can say really other than that it's just such bad tactics, and you don't normally see that coming from her because Monkbat is such an established fighter. And when you get to the golden score situation, if you've got 2 penalties on there, the last thing you do is just drop on your back.
Nowhere near her again. She was nowhere near the last one with the Maki Komi, and she was nowhere there with that Sumigeshe effort. The only thing that tells you this is Sumigeshe is where the foot is. That's it. But no contact. And look at Galbadrak, hands up. Look, she's nowhere near me.
Yeah.
Make the most
I
of it,
didn't do
kid.
anything. Yes, absolutely.
Happy Kazakh team. Right, we come now to the final of the under 48 kilo category. The current world champion Tanaki Funa of Japan faces Daria Biladid of Ukraine. It's Tanaki in the white judogi, Biladid in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Yevgeny Raklin of Russia. Here's Neil.
Well, yes, I mean, they got their world rankings up there. 4 is Tanaki, the reigning world champion, the defending world champion, should I say. And Billedid she's worked her way up, 17 years of age, up to world rank number 3. And their head-to-heads there. There's Billedid 2-0 up. Can she make it 3-0 and the most important contest of her life? It would be quite remarkable, I think, if she wins the world title at 17 years of age, senior world title.
She'll become the youngest ever world champion. We've had people at 18. We've had Tanny, those people at 18, not 17.
Well, it will be quite remarkable. Just the fact that she's here is remarkable. But
we've had Olympic champions, younger but not world. Odd one, isn't it?
Well, she's ready to go here. Billedid, she's out there, ready to go. Daria Billedid in blue. Tanaki Funa, she's in white, and she is the current world champion, the reigning world champion, but she has got her work cut out here with Billedid. Uchimata, straight away then, into the attack here, Billedid. And she's looking for the Sangaku again. So a nice bit of groundwork here. This time Tanaki giving it to Billedid, but Billedid's just turned it.
I'm not in the right place for that.
Well, it happens, when people, somebody has a special technique that they do, that often when it gets turned against you, it's not comfortable at all. 4 minutes in this final.
Tanaki's lost to Billedid twice, as Neil said, both this year. Once at the Paris tournament at the beginning of the year, and then back in July at the Grand Prix in Zagreb. Both of them were in semi-finals. This time they go head-to-head in the final of the World Championships. The current world champion looking to retain her title against a 17-year-old youngster from Ukraine.
So dominant with the grip that she takes, Billedid. She really has such a great stance, and we teach so many techniques, but we don't teach direction, balance, and the use of stance through the kumakata. And the gripping is so important, and she just grips so strongly. And even though she's tall, she has great stance and great balance. So Tanaki, a lot shorter, but disappearing underneath, but not getting the chance to rotate.
You're just looking up at her. Look at her. Look.
Well, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. But she has the sleeve now. Watch the arm going over. Oh, it's all over! Billedid has done it. Billedid has thrown her for Ippon. Tanaki, well, the same happened in an earlier contest, didn't it? And, well, look at that. Billedid is the world champion. That is absolutely magnificent. That's the 3rd time on the trot that she's beaten the reigning world champion this year. And that was magnificent. She had the sleeve. The arm came over the top, and then she explodes in for the Ouchigari. The 17-year-old is the new world champion at 48 kilograms.
What an amazing story. Incredible.
Same technique she threw up, actually, and I'm not sure if it was in Paris or the other
Zagreb.
one. It was in Zagreb with the same technique. She
just
dominated the sleeve.
Months ago.
Yeah, and the arm came over the top. Look at the arm coming over the top. She throws it over, and at the same time, she does the Ouchi, and Tanaki goes cleanly onto her back. She throws for Ippon in the final of the World Championships. Daria Billedid is the world champion. And I've got to say, she is in a class of her own. She really, I mean, I don't know how it's going to develop over the next couple of years, but at the moment, well, she really is streets ahead. It's brilliant.
3 years after taking the World Championships as a cadet, she steps up 3 years later. Don't worry about juniors, I'll leave that. And I'll just come straight to the seniors and I'll do it. What an emotional moment. Incredible. And to win it by throwing the current world champion from Japan with Ippon 3 times in a row.
Yeah, it's magnificent. Look at that.
Yeah, even the mum can't believe it.
Mum can't believe it. And,
Dad wasn't here. Dad wasn't in the arena, you know. He couldn't take it.
Is that right?
Yeah. Well, Gennady Biledid, he must have been hiding somewhere. I'm not going to come and watch this, he said.
Well, I think we're all just a little bit emotional here,
Yeah.
you know, because I'm choking up.
Yeah, me too.
And I just think it's an amazing achievement. But it's not just an amazing achievement. It's one thing winning an event. You know, you go and win an event and you do well. But when you win it in style, and also the fact that the thing on her brain is to score an Ippon. She wanted to win by Ippon. Magnificent.
And beat the best.
And she did that.
We come now to the first of the bronze medal contests in the under 60 kilo category. Karamat Husseinov of Azerbaijan faces Amiran Papinashvili of Georgia. It'll be Husseinov in the white judogi, Papinashvili in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Ramzadin Saidov of Uzbekistan, who never fought in the under 60 kilo category.
Ex-world medalist himself, and well, he looks like he's not going to grow into that suit, is he?
No.
He's the biggest, most muscly guy that's ever refereed a match, I'm sure. Terrific guy as well.
Neil, I don't think whatever happens today, there won't be another player of the day apart from Biledid. We got 3 more contests to come. We got the 2 bronze medal contests and the gold medal match in the under 60 kilo category. I can't see anybody stealing it with a better story than that.
No, it's an amazing story. It really is. Well, Husseinov now has a chance to get the first medal on the board for Azerbaijan. Papinashvili will have something to say about that. Very cagey, isn't he? Papinashvili can kind of just turn your own technique into something that is his. Nearly went on to that. Husseinov just waiting for him to come forwards. Reverse Sianagi. Well, he just spun onto that, didn't he? It's almost a complete spin. And this time with the Sodisura Komigoshi, Husseinov really rising to it now. The crowd behind him, of course they are. Papinashvili gets a penalty, gets a Shido on the board. That's the second one that he's got now. One more and it's going to be all over. And it just panned on to the Georgian team there up in the crowd, who didn't look all too pleased with what is happening here. Oh, he's all over him. Hazainov is all over him. Well, he knows he's got to attack Papinashvili at some stage.
Well, he just sunk to his knees there.
Oh, it's going to be a score.
Oh. Paid the price.
Yes,
wrong
absolutely.
defence. Yes, it was a strong grip. Yes, he had to get off it, but you can't gift him that. I mean, Papinashvili, anytime you allow him to get the arms around the waist.
Look at that. That was absolutely excellent. It really was.
Wrong defence.
Well, you know, the thing is, it's not a defence now on the hands and knees. It's just not. It's not a defence, and you can't just stay there. And he's lost a contest with Ishimiwaza, didn't he? You know, with Takato. Takato just climbed on his back and strangled him.
Well, just to tell you quickly, we'll be chatting with the gold medalist from the under 48 kilo category, Daria Bielodid. We'll be chatting with her tomorrow at some stage. So hopefully you'll be able to catch that.
Well, this stadium is absolutely buzzing, and I think mostly it's not only Hazainov being out there fighting for third place, but also for Daria Bielodid. Ooh, beautiful reverse Sianagi again. He really is going for it.
He was close, he did the wrap-up well, and it's come at the right time when Papinashvili would have seen that coming. He just didn't have the power to stop it. You know, it was developing slowly, when normally, in order to catch someone, you've got to be pretty quick with that one. But I wouldn't say Papinashvili was out on his feet, but he's breathing heavily, isn't he? Oh, they don't like it. They think that was a false attack.
No, they won a third penalty.
Yeah.
Look, he's not going to do it.
Now is where Husseinov should just rush him. Now you give everything that you've got. If you go over, you go over. You've just got so little time. There's no time to set up. Papinashvili's closed him down. And Husseinov's busy begging for a Judo when he should have done better with that end.
Well, he was begging for the Judo,
yeah.
but you can't referee the match. You know what I mean?
No.
You're not the referee. Papinashvili wins the bronze. Could have been in danger of getting a third penalty, but as it happens, it's not up to Hazainov to decide that.
Couple of little things there in that last 20-odd seconds that could have put a better type of pressure, brought a better type of pressure to bear on Papinashvili. Papinashvili very sportingly hung around to shake hands with him and waited for him. He didn't make an appearance. He said, "Okay, I'm off." Not waiting around for all day for you, pal. I'm off. Fought hard all day. Tough day for Papinashvili. He walks away with a bronze medal. Happy camper.
Well, he is, yeah. Like you say, I think it was a real hard day at the office, wasn't it? But sometimes you've got to go that way. That's the direction you've got to go.
Was the number 3 seed here today, Papinashvili.
There's your situation there, Sumigaeshi there, and thought it was all over, but he's not. You know, they need to learn the rules properly. This is not a defensive position anymore. It really isn't.
No, you pointed that out. So Papinashvili's done what he said he would do this morning. Well, as far as the seeding was concerned, he came in at number 3 and he came out
did it.
third.
Yes.
Shvidabadze has a chance to follow the seeding. He very much hopes he won't, because he came in here seeded number 2 and he's in the final. He won't want that to come true. Takato came in as the number 4. Well, he's surpassed himself being in the final. Nagayama, we shall see whether he's going to walk away with a medal, because he's coming up next.
Well, Nagayama must be absolutely kicking himself. He's just about to fight for third place.
That close, wasn't he, Nagayama?
Mihanen of Korea is his opponent.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was. I thought he dominated the whole match, you know, but it was score that counts in the end.
Right, here come the 2 fighters now. Lee Ha-rim of the Republic of Korea faces Nagayama Ryuju of Japan. It'll be Lee in the white judogi, Nagayama in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Vladimir Nutsubidze of Georgia. Here's Neil.
The world ranking there for Nagayama is number 1 and looked like he was sailing through to his first world final, but it just never happened, did it? Lee is world ranked number 41, but this is for the 3rd place at the World Championships. Of course, they'll want 2 on the rostrum here. They had a double assault, the Japanese, didn't they? They had Takato and Nagayama. Nagayama looked the better in the semi-final, but it was never to happen.
Japanese supporters up there waiting for a medal. Is Nagayama going to deliver, or is Lee going to upset him, come from his fairly lowly position in 40 odd on the IGF World Ranking list and upset the world number 1?
Well, they'll have to turn that sleeve grip into something. Nagayama just looking for the chance to go underneath. Quite impressed with Lee as well, though, in that final repechage match.
He's had a terrific run today, given, you know, some of the times that he's looked almost out on his feet and just kept going. Really surprised about just how well he's done.
Well, we have pointed out, I know we're going to point it out a lot of times over the next 7 days, but interesting that the team match, which is a mixed team match that finishes the 8 days off. It's on the last day of competition, and the world team match, 3 men, 3 women, but it's going to be a joint North and South Korean team. So that's going to be a really interesting situation. Even more interesting, who's going to select who?
This is his 6th contest of the day. Lee. I think when it comes to the selection for the unified team, well, Lee was unlikely to feature in it. He's down there at 60 kilos. They'll have one or other of the North or South Koreans at 73 coming in there. So poor old Lee having forced his socks off. Won't even get a look in. And then there are a couple of the women, I think, are likely to feature. They always put out some strong and very competitive women from the DPRK. We had one of them in the induction, IGF Hall of Fame the other day. Double Olympic champion and 3 times world champion. 1-time Olympic winner. She beat Tani in that final as a youngster. Kei Sun-hee, legend of North Korean judo. But they like to have her in the team.
Well, I think that's going to be an advantage to them because that team match will be... often we get teams that are more loaded towards the men's categories, don't we? Not the ladies. Well, they're both looking for the same technique here, both dropping underneath for the Cianagi. Nagayama hasn't really got going in this match, nowhere near his previous semi-final. Just a little bit of wind out of his sails, I think. Coming up to the last minute, first 4 minutes. So again, just no second hand on there. Got to be Koga level if it's going to go one-handed. One Shido each. So he gets his second penalty up there, Lee, for just walking out of the area. Stupid way, really, to threw away a penalty, and you can't throw him away. Wow.
Nagayama's just woken up, hasn't he?
Nagayama decides to throw a big shoulder throw in. Well, I don't think I've seen that. I don't think that one's got a name.
And do you know, normally you would say that, oh, great athletic ability or gymnastic skills in avoiding that lead. He didn't know what was happening. You could see it on his face, he was clueless. He didn't know how to get out of that one because he didn't know what it was.
Yeah, he just went, oh, I don't know what it is.
Nor do I.
Went up like an Exocet missile.
And we have seen a bit of Judo.
Yeah.
That was a new one on me. 2 penalties picked up by Lee, just the one to Nagayama. We're going to go into golden score because there goes the gong. This is not where Lee wanted to be. Mind you, it's not where Nagayama wanted to be. But given what we've seen earlier on with Lee, fading in the latter part of the contest, Nagayama should be able to take it from here. In fact, he should have taken it before.
Yeah, I think Nagayama definitely the superior here, but can't get a score on the board.
I really wonder if it's just hard for him to, pick himself up after the loss to the teammate. There he was on the brink of the final, and now having to come back out and battle for the bronze medal. You're the world number one. Just that bit of motivation.
Hardest medal to win, the bronze medal.
Flirting with danger is Lee here because I really dislike the look, I'm active kind of thing, but I haven't tried to throw him once.
Difference between being active and, we could say, well, we're active and on the dance floor, but it's not necessarily dancing.
I mean, for me, if they're not attacks meant to throw your opponent, then they're false. And if the false attack, then that's it. It's a penalty. It's not just a question when it gets to this point where you're trying to get your opponent a penalty. It just looks so unattractive. And he has got attacks that can look better and more threatening. But he's also got that kind of tactic in there where he's just going to try and look busy. Those last 2 were okay. I've got nothing wrong with those,
So second one up there to Nagayama.
From the busy Lee. Just keeps busy, doesn't he? I mean, where does he get the energy from? We're a minute and a half into golden score, and he was not out on his feet at 4 minutes, but he was definitely not the stronger of the two, and yet a minute and 40 seconds later, he's still the one attacking. Incredible. Third or fourth time I've seen him today when he surprised me with his stickability.
Well, anybody's match this one. So both of them just a little bit bit tentative there going in. So 2 minutes into golden score, and this match will be decided, I think, just either on a third penalty. I think any one of these is going to score. Well, that was a drop without rotation.
A little bit closer than I thought this would be, to be honest. I really thought Nagayama would get past Lee, and I certainly didn't think that I'd be talking about 2.5 minutes of golden score with Lee still being able to throw in those low Morote Seoinage efforts.
So nearly 3 minutes in here now. Get on with it, the referee says.
He's fought out of his skin today, Lee, given his position on the world ranking list and his lack of experience at this kind of level. Really good effort from the South Korean. A little Sumigeshi effort. Attempted counter from Nagayama, but Lee was already on the ground, and so was Nagayama, so no score.
Well, I think the longest golden score that we had was about 10 minutes, wasn't it? Just over. If I remember rightly.
Yeah, I don't think this one is going to trouble that. Although you can't discount Lee because he just keeps going. And now Nagayama decides to step up with a few attacks. Not necessarily threatening, but at least he's going to look busy. He can't afford to pick up a penalty either one of these.
Well, who wants it most now? Because this is anybody's. Just depends now who puts the best attacks in, I think. Oh, there it is. Uchimata. Well, it doesn't get much better than that.
Where did that come from after 4 minutes and 8 seconds?
4 minutes, 8 seconds into golden score. And, well, I don't think any of us thought that was going to happen there. Uchimata. And Nagayama throws Lee with the biggest Uchimata you've ever seen.
Beautifully.
Just pulled it out of nowhere.
It's that old thing about the London bus. If you wait long enough,
it'll come eventually. My goodness me, didn't that one come?
Well, what a day for Lee. He really did give it everything. And he hung in there right to the end. In fact, way past the end. It was 4 minutes and 8 seconds into the golden score period when finally Nagayama Ryuju, the world number one, got hold of him with that Uchimata, which we will see in the highlights.
You can see the highlights on the screen. And please
Ooh, little Makikomi going on at the same time.
Well,
Neil.
yeah, we didn't quite see how the grips were happening, did we? But
Tell us
Uchimata
about that one.
Makikomi, well, had the sleeve. Look at the arm going over the top there. Just hand assists it over.
I mean, it's a genuine Makikomi, some Uchimata with the leg and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. He just
Yeah.
froze that. Just that unusual execution with the grip.
Oh,
there.
it's beautiful, wasn't it? Beautifully executed. What a bronze medal win that was.
Even stands up, look. Showing off. Nagayama, I can do this standing up, look.
Yeah.
No roll,
Well,
nothing.
you have to wonder how many times are we going to actually see this Uchimata?
dear.
My goodness. Third place, and definitely guaranteed 2 Japanese on the rostrum here in the under 60 kilos category.
Yeah, our thoughts at the beginning were where they would be on the podium. Now, we know one of them. Nagayama takes the bronze medal, but that brings us neatly now to the final of the under 60 kilo category. Takato Naohisa of Japan faces Robert Shvirabadze of Russia. It'll be Takato in the white judogi, Shvirabadze in blue, and here with commentary on this one is Neil Adams.
Well, just looking there, they've only fought once before, and Takato was the winner. World rankings not far apart, are they? Mishvirabadze, world rank 2, Takato 4, but he's the defending world champion. Don't forget that Takato is going for his 4th world title, 3rd world title. This is will be his 3rd. So I will be interested just to see if he's injured or not, Takato, because he did tweak his knee, and just having a little look there to see how he's walking out. But we'll soon know, because the contest will soon unfold.
Referee in the middle for this one is Turbat Entsetseg of Mongolia. Did you see Kanagawa? Yeah, he's out there. The coach is out there as well. So. Well, he had 3 steps to come up onto the podium on which the competition area has been placed, and he stepped up there okay. So it may have been icing or...
Well, I think so. He's definitely been icing,
strapping.
but we'll see how it goes here. Straight into the attack there, Mishvirabadze. It's almost like he smells there's something not quite right.
He wants to get this over and done with early. He doesn't want to give Takato any chances. If he's slightly off the pace, Takato, knee injury or otherwise, Shvirabadze wants to jump in there and do it now.
Well, he's certainly come out with intent, hasn't he, Mishvirabadze?
Not sure. Under normal circumstances, you know, favour the Russian stroke Georgian or that kind of area to be happier with the close quarter fighting, you know, the infighting. But Takato, he loves that too.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he fights an unusual match, doesn't he, for a Japanese?
yeah.
Traditional Japanese is not. So he doesn't mind the closeness, and he can fight Russian style as well.
That's right. You'll
He
get a
really
dumping
can.
from him one way or the other.
Good way of looking at it. So both struggling to get that sleeve. The opposite stance is there. Beautiful. That's a Wazare. Oh, what a change of direction. Beautiful Kouchi there. He just just skipped over to the side there, and the little Kouchi there, foot sweep, just took his opponent back. So he is Ozari down. There it was. Just skip across. Kouchi just drives his Russian opponent back. He's a lot happier fighting Europeans than he is fighting Japanese, that's for sure, Takato.
And you can see the change immediately in Takato. All of a sudden, the right side of the body is no longer available to Svidobadze. He's turned to the side, he's just giving him one arm, just making that little bit more difficult. He's had a look at the clock. He knows that he's got, you know, no Shido on there. If they stop him and they penalise him for, you know, just hiding the jacket or failing to take a grip, he can burn one, possibly two within that last minute. Just slowed things down now.
Well, he doesn't quite know what to do with him, does he, Svidobadze?
He better find out quickly. He's only got 50 odd seconds because, you know, he I don't know, was it 6, 7, 8 seconds where he just held on to him and thought, like as Neil was saying, what should I do?
Well, that's it. And he's now not in a good position here. Is he going to try and come past there to Kato? He is.
Yeah, for the little turnover that he's got. He doesn't mind having the legs wrapped up because she'll give him a few seconds to try and get free. If he doesn't, he's burnt some time off the clock. He went down there with about 38 seconds. And now we've got 20 odd.
Well, and he's busy, and
absolutely.
he's really progressive as well with the groundwork. So, well, I wonder if that is Mr. and Mrs. Takato there. Just managed
to hold on to that. If he'd lost that would have been
He might have just got a penalty there. 9 seconds away.
He's happy to keep Svidobadze down. You know, the arm goes into the leg only to ensure that Svidobadze remains in contact with him. He did pick up a penalty for something. One arm around, and he still ends up with a reasonable little effort, despite the fact that it was never going to go anywhere. Once he'd taken up that score, that was it. He's got enough experience to stage manage the contest. He hangs around with Svidobadze for a bit of a back slap. All nice and friendly at the end, respectful, not just from Svidobadze having lost to the world champion, but also from Takato, who knows that, you know, at some stage in there, he had a bit of a match on his hands until he scored, and then that was it. Neil.
3-time world champion. So a great performance from Takato. We've seen him up, we've seen him down, but he's back again. And probably picked up a little nick there. He wasn't firing off all cylinders, but managed to control the Russian all the way through the match.
World champion and again world champion, Takato Nagisa.
So very respectful as he leaves the mat area, as they always are, of course. That's the way we have to conduct ourselves.
Thank you very much for your cooperation.
So Takato manages to defend his world title. Looked great all day, actually. He really did. I would say the thing that kind of sent him off there was his match against his own fighter, his own teammate, wasn't it?
It was either Nagayama or Takato for me this morning. I didn't see anyone else really troubling them. They'd looked so strong in the lead-ups, to these World Championships. But what made it worse was the way they both came out here this morning. Nagayama on the one side, of the top half of the draw, and Takato in the same half, but just that lower part, they really looked unstoppable.
Absolutely. Just looking at that Kouchi there, and he just flicks across to hook on. He's like a sticky foot Kouchi, and away he goes. Well, Japan first in the medals at the end of day one, and they've got one first, one second, and one third place. They've got a gold, silver, and a bronze medal. Ukraine, they've got their gold, of course, through the great Biladid. 17 years of age, the youngest world champion ever. Russia is third with the silver, and well, the rest is going to all work out over the next 7 days.
We come now to the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 48 kilo category.
Presented by International Judo Federation Ambassador and International Artist, Mr. Albano Carnisi. Bronze medalist.
Yeah, it's you, Mr. Albano. That's what he's wondering. Am I doing the medals? Yeah, that's you. And the first of the bronze medals goes to Otgonsetse Galbadrak of Kazakhstan. There's a bronze medal too for Paula Pareto of Argentina. The silver medal goes to Tonaki Funa of Japan, dethroned today as world champion. The gold medal goes to Daria Biladid of Ukraine, about whom I suspect so much is going to be written and so much is going to be said. Neil.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what can you say? We're trying not to make it too much, because too much pressure on such a young, mature head, really. But I mean, 17 years of age, she is a senior world champion, which is remarkable in itself. To get a medal in a senior event at 17 years of age is remarkable. But she's gone 5 Grand Prix Grand Slam wins this year and the world title, and we just hope that she can keep it going until the Olympic Games. The Olympics obviously is an event that we all want to win, all the top judoka want to win, but it looks like it's all going in the right direction. Congratulations to her and all her coaching staff. It was a magnificent performance.
She's flanked on one side by the former world champion, and on the other by the current Olympic champion, and even down at the far end of the podium you've got the Olympic bronze medalist, and she beat all of them.
She beat all of them. But I mean, she's consistently beat them all the way through, hasn't she? And the year, I mean, she won Paris, she won Germany, she's won the Worlds. What else?
Once in a while it works out that way, that all 3 people on the podium you beat, and sometimes you only beat the one. This time she beat everybody. In the final it was Tanaki, in the semi-final it was Pareto, and prior to that it was Galbadrak. And now the national anthem of Ukraine.
Thank you very much. Now,
Well, I suppose after this, having set out your goals and the things that you want to achieve, there is just that one left.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. It's the Olympics we all want to win, and sometimes it doesn't happen. I should know, but the thing is that you've got to look at this young lady here and think that she's got to go on to win the Olympic title, and I hope she does. We can see there, Biladid, Ukraine, wins the gold. Tanaki, the world champion from last year, gets the silver, and the Pareto, the Olympic champion, and Galbadrak get the bronzes. And what a set, what a row of names there to be stood on top of at such an early age. Brilliant.
The question that you would ask, I suppose, I would as an analyst, is okay, where is the competition going to come from? Because there's bound to be somebody, isn't there? But she's beaten them all. In fact, she beat most of them today. Whoever was going to threaten was there. There's just one person who wasn't here that might do it, and it could be that Tanaki is going to lose that place, because they're going to look. The Japanese are going to look at Kondo now,
yes,
and say, we need to. This matchup that we've had with Tanaki, it's 3-0.
Yeah,
it's 3-0.
Yeah,
and it's not working. In fact, any Japanese that Biladid has fought, they've all gone the same way. They've all lost. We'll have to see what happens when she comes up against Kondo. What a thing, eh? Well, we've got another awarding ceremony to come before we end the day. That's for the men in the under 60 kilo category. He came close, didn't he?
he did.
No doubt he's waiting around to celebrate Papinashvili. Papinashvili just lost out to Robert Shvidabadze of Russia. He had to come back in the bronze medal contest against Karamat Husseinov. So there'll be some degree of celebration for the Georgians, and they'll be hoping that it won't be the last of the medals, because they're back in the medals, the Georgian team.
I don't think it will be either. I think they're going to have quite a handful of medals, and I think Lipatiliani might be in there for a shout.
Yep. Right, we come now to the awarding ceremony for the men in the under 60 kilo category. The medals are being presented by the chairman of the Athletes Commission, double Olympic champion and multi-world champion, Teddy Riner. The first of the bronze medals goes to Nagayama Ryuju of Japan, and you'll see the size difference when Teddy stands next to Nagayama. Remember, he's on a podium, Nagayama. Second of the bronze medals goes to Amiran Papinashvili of Georgia. Look at the smiles from them. They're actually delighted to be getting a medal from Teddy Riner, and that's great that you've got a current athlete that is so well respected that they all know him, like him, respect him. Silver medal goes to Robert Shvidabadze of Russia, but the gold medal goes to Takato Naohisa of Japan, who, irrespective of being a triple world champion, and the Japanese still looks up to Teddy Riner and gives him a big smile of respect. The man has done it, hasn't he?
Well, today, it's been magnificent, hasn't it? I mean, what a day it really has been. First day of competition at these World Championships. Biladid became the youngest world champion in history at the age of 17 years of age. Takato won his third world title. Tomorrow we've got the under 66 kilos and the under 52 kilos categories to be fought, and well, Japan still leading the medals. 1 gold, 1 silver, 1 bronze, and the Ukraine have 1 gold to go.
Fair Play Committee, Dr.
Takato will be so pleased with his performance and his 3rd gold medal, but the Japanese, as we suspected, would have 2 on the rostrum. It was always a possibility.
Just a question of where. Ended up 1 and 3. Well, I'm looking forward to tomorrow then, Neil.
Tomorrow's going to be a great day again. It's going to be, you know, it has every signs of a possibility of, well, brother, sister gold medal for Japan, and that's what they're all going to be aiming for. So now we have the national anthem of Japan. So, just like to say goodbye to everybody, and we'll see you at the same time tomorrow. From Sheldon and I, it's goodbye for now. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Now, family picture with VIPs and judoka.
Şimdi ise galip ve mükafatçılar hatıra çeki çektirmek için merkeze davet oldu. Gelin galip ve mükafatçıları bir daha alkışlayalım.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to remind you that tomorrow the competition, the 2nd day of the World Judo Championships 2018 will start at 10 o'clock.
Hanımlar ve canımlar, sabah başta geçilen judo üzere muhteşem dünya şampiyonatında 2. gün başlayacak. Görüşler saat 10'da start edecek. Bugün bizimle olduğunuz için teşekkür ederim.